Us tonight at our City Council meeting. We'll go ahead and get started. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Adamson. Here. Gray.
Here.
Cheatham.
Here.
Johnston.
Here.
Lurick. Here. Anon. Here. Platt.
Here. Thank you. If you'd please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, after which, if you would remain standing, we will have an invocation will be offered by Jesse Robinson of Pocatello Citizen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and public at large. May my invocation please all of you. Connie contacted me many times over the years asking me to do this, and I've always dodged her overtures. I think the council knows I'm more of a doer than a prayer. I do not practice a form of religion, but I have moved from an agnostic to a deeply spiritual person. I'm lucky, as I've had many personal experiences that tell me there's a greater force at work in the universe, and I call upon that energy to aid the City Council in its duties tonight. I believe the majority of Americans are disgusted with the corruption and waste we see in our federal government. I think that's what's the guiding light and the hopeful thing is that I see at the local level that we still work together, we come together, we compromise, and we solve problems, and that I urge the spirit and this energy to continue helping the City Council to do that. Another area that urged this spirit and the City Council to aid is I recently learned that there is an amazing woman working at Irving Junior High named Callie Cece, and that we have hundreds of homeless children in Pocatello that I was not aware of. And it's not that they're on the streets, but it's through no fault of their own. They either don't have parents, they're latchkey kids, they're bounced from house to house. And so this girl has started a program. She's 29 years old, has a family, and she collects donated items, food, clothing, and things to help these children. I'd urge the council and mayor to maybe put out a notice to the City Council, to the city employees, to consider donating things to this program to help these kids. I don't think the City Council wants that going on in a town as fine as ours. And the third thing, though he's not been able to make it, that I wanted to ask, the last thing, Yusu Inaga is my Kazuna Garden brother. He is an origami making genius. He made the things you see in front of me. These are made out of paper, the roses. And he's supposed to have been here to bring a gift. Oh, he is here. I'm sorry. I was worried about him. He struggles with some health things. But in spite of all that, he helped me for 5 years and many other people to build the beautiful Japanese garden we have at the airport. And we, through the aid and the energy of this great spirit and this council, intend to fill our airport with beautiful origami exhibits. They will include, we hope, 1,000 hanging cranes. We hope to have 600 of these roses there. And Yu is here because he wants to present a gift he made to the City Council. The origami is a very spiritual thing. It has many aspects. And we want, if I may approach the mayor to give this to the city, we hope that you can display it and that it brings you energy and it brings us all energy to do these things with the origami, because if we do it, we will be the first city in America and the first airport to have these. We were the first city in America, continental U.S., to have a Japanese garden. May I approach?
Before you do that, you mentioned 1,000 origami cranes. There's a reason for that. Will you explain that to the...
Yeah, it goes back to actually World War II when I visited Hiroshima. My son is a Japanese translator of patents, and I went to see him. And after the bombing, there was a girl who had contracted leukemia, and she was dying. And they believed that if she started folding the cranes, and if she could fold them all, she would live, and she didn't make it. And her students came together and folded the rest of those cranes after she passed away. And I was actually at Hiroshima and saw an exhibit this big of a glass case with 1 or 2 of those cranes that girl folded. I had to walk away. I could not control my emotion. It was just incredible to see and to feel that energy. It was a beautiful place that spoke of the horror and the pain of what had happened and the responsibility they felt as well, and the world should never let that kind of thing happen again. And the cranes are about peace and harmony and many things, and we want to put just an amazing exhibit in our airport. And these are examples, and with that, I would like to present the gift, if I may, Mayor.
Please.
And you would like to say just...
You, if you'd come up here.
I'm fine right here, Mr. Mayor, but thank you. I just wanted to mention.
We need you, I'm sorry, we need you to come up here.
Viewing audience can't hear you if you don't speak into the mic.
Kusudama is two Japanese words, and it means prayer and medicine. Kusudamas are given for very special occasions, very spiritual occasions, baptisms, weddings, celebrations. And it's traditional that with each fold, I say one prayer for the intentions and the dreams of the City Council and to aid them and empower them in their work. This Kusudama took me 7 months to build, and it has 2,900 prayers included within its balance.
Thank you. Thank you. That is beautiful. Thank you.
With that, we wish the council this best luck in conducting its business and doing the beautiful things you do for a city that is progressing and has been for years now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Do I need to adjust this? Okay, so before we move on, we have, for agenda item number 15 is discussion items. If there's an item on the agenda, you will not have the opportunity to speak to that agenda item and agenda item 15 during the discussion items. And so there's been 2 people that have signed up, and they've got for our agenda item number 9. And so you may not be able to speak on that. For sure, you will not be able to speak on it on agenda item 15. So I apologize for that. But,
Outlines it on the form.
yeah, it outlines it on the form here as well, and so I apologize. We will conduct the business and see what happens from this point forward. So agenda item number 3 is a consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from the following meetings: the Joint City Bannock County School District number 25 meeting and the special city council meeting on Olympus Drive, Chubbuck Road of October 23, 2018, special city council meeting with PDA on the North Gate TIF, Fire Union quarterly update meeting, clarification meeting, and the regular council meeting of November 1st, 2018. B, treasurer's report. Council may wish to consider the treasurer's report for October showing cash and investments as of October 31, 2018. Good evening, Joyce.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Joyce Stroshine, Chief Financial Officer for the city. Tonight I'm presenting the treasurer's report for the month of October. Total cash and cash equivalents represent 91% of city's monies, totaling $44,677,734. Total long-term investments represent 9% of city's monies, totaling $4,636,967. Total cash, cash equivalents, and long-term investments total $49,314,702. This amount is down $301,431 for the month of October. On page 2 of the report, I've highlighted key receipts that we received in the month. Franchise fee, Intermountain Gas, $27,877. This amount is down 4.10% from the prior year. Airport grant, $58,315. Franchise fee, Idaho Power, $119,776. This amount is down 6.18% from the prior year. Idaho State Liquor Tax, $126,294. This amount is down 5.29% from the prior year. Transit Grant Federal, $161,821. Idaho state sales tax revenue, this is the state distribution, is up 3.93% at $635,338. Idaho state highway user fees is up 1.8% at $656,336. The remaining section details the net change in cash and long-term investments for the month. Page 3 of the report is the report on the trust funds. Total cash and cash equivalents, $1,144,431. Total long-term investments, $3,979,784 for total cash, cash equivalents, and long-term investments of $5,124,215. Total cash receipts for the month were $28,555. Total cash disbursements, $58,788. Net change in long-term investments, a decrease of $48,140 for an overall decrease in the trust funds of $78,372. On page 4 of the report, this report lists all the funds, cash balances with their respective net change for the month. I've highlighted the general fund. You will note it's at a fund balance at the end of the month of $8,761,123, and they expended $1,296,692 for the month. On page 5 of the report is discussion and analysis for your review. Page 5 of the report is the trend, the 5-year trend on cash balances. This report continues to reflect a strong cash position in the city. There are 3 funds that have negative balances. We have the Transit Urban Fund, and this negative balance of $214,284 is covered by pending grant receivables to come in. These are grant reimbursement-based grants, so we expend and then the money comes in the following month. So that is coming in to replenish that back. Ambulance Fund, $456,969. This is covered by our Bennett County contract, and we are sending out the final billing for fiscal year 18, and that will cover that deficit. CDBG, $175,929. This amount is covered by pending grant receivables as well. So once again, this is a very strong, healthy report for the city in their cash position. I have one other announcement to make. Finance Department was awarded the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for fiscal year 2017. This is the 14th consecutive year that we've received the award. This award reflects the hard work of the finance staff to provide accurate and consistent reporting. The department also received the award for Outstanding Achievement in Popular Annual Reporting for fiscal year 2017. This is the 13th consecutive year for receiving this award. So,
Thank you. You've done a great job. Council,
can't do it without the staff I have.
they do a great job. Council, do you have any questions for Joyce before she leaves us? She's running out the door, it looks like.
Sorry, I was getting ready to turn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, C, grant acceptance. Mayor's Walking Challenge. Council may wish to accept a $1,000 grant from Blue Cross of Idaho Foundation for Health Incorporated for Mayor Blad's participation in the Mayor's Walking Challenge. D, Resolution Pocatello Chubbuck Mayor's Youth Advisory Council. Council may wish to adopt a new resolution changing the membership number for the Pocatello Chubbuck Mayor's Youth Advisory Council. The membership number each year will be at the discretion of the mayors. E, Council Decision, Sunnybrook Subdivision Short Plat. Council may wish to adopt its decision approving a short plat for the Sunnybrook subdivision, which subdivides approximately 0.19 acres of land into one residential lot subject to conditions. The property is located at 911 Samuel Street.
Mr. Mayor,
Council President Johnston.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by President Johnston and a second by Cheatham.
Mr. Mayor, how far did you walk to win that challenge?
Okay, so I want to be clear. I did not win the challenge,
Oh,
But I
So
did
loser
walk,
prize?
I had to walk 10,000 steps a day, a minimum, and I ended up with 700 and something thousand steps for the month of October, so.
That's pretty good. I think
That's great. My wife didn't appreciate it, and my body didn't appreciate it, but we got it done. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Johnston.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 4 is communication and proclamations. We do have one proclamation, but before we get to that, we have a number of scouts. Oh, where are you going, sir? We're calling on your group first. Who's in charge back there? No, he's not in charge. You scout's in charge. Stand up. Okay, go ahead and tell us where you're from, what troop you're in.
We are.
Troop 354 from Pocatello.
Okay, who's in your troop? How many people are in your troop back? How about your troop stand up? All right. You guys look pretty good back there. Motley crew of leaders there, but you guys look pretty darn good. Thank you for being with us tonight. We've got some other scouts right here. Yeah, you. I'm looking at you. Who are you in charge? Okay. Tell us, go through the drill.
We are Troop 336, and we're from Pocatello also.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here. Let's have your troop stand up. Oh, you're scattered out. All right, good. You guys are all good friends. I can see that. Great. We have some young ladies back there. I'm assuming you're doing this for school? Well, one of you stand up and tell us what school you're from, will you?
We're from Franklin Middle School, student leadership.
All of you are, right? Yeah, sure. Okay. If you're from Franklin Middle School, leadership, stand up real quick. We want to see you. Holy mackerel. You guys like for each other, too. I can see you sitting close together.
Got some scouts doing double duty there.
Some scouts doing double duty. That's great. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
It's a part of being thrifty.
Part of being thrifty.
Back here.
What's that? Well, stand up.
Troop back here. Come on, boys, stand up.
Somebody stand up. I can't see you. Hello. What troop are you in?
We're Troop 350.
350?
Yeah.
Where are you from? Pocatello?
Yeah.
And it's just the two of you.
Just, yeah, tonight.
Fantastic. Thanks for being with us. All right, I'm going across. If somebody sees, all right, I got a hand back there.
We're from Pocatello, and we're Group 141.
141. Everybody in Troop 141, stand up, will you? This is great. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. All right.
Trying to get there.
What do we get? Okay, we're coming over here now. You guys are Franklin, right? You're not Franklin anymore. You graduated from that. It took you 7 years to get out of Franklin, but you got it. Right here in front. Who have we got? Sorry, Andy. 315 from Pocatello. Thank you very much. And everybody in your troop, stand up. Where are you? Nice. Man alive, it's great to have you guys with us. Did I miss a scout trip? That you may sit down. Thank you.
There's two steps in front.
There's two what?
Do they stand?
He's the one that said that's 315.
Two in the front didn't stand.
Two in the front didn't stand up. What are you hiding from?
They stood up.
Oh, they did.
Oh, they're from over here. All right. Did I get all the scouts? Did I get all the government students? All right, and everybody else is just here because you want to watch us work. Appreciate that. Thank you. We do have a proclamation. The proclamation is on Small Business Saturday. Council member Linda Lurick will read the proclamation for us.
Okay, this is a long one. Whereas the government of Pocatello, Idaho celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community, According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently 30.2 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of all businesses with employees in the United States, are responsible for 65.9% of net new jobs created 2000 to 2017. And whereas small businesses employ over 47.5% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, and whereas 90% of consumers in the United States say Small Business Saturday has had a positive impact in their community, and whereas 89% of consumers who are aware of Small Business Saturday said the day encourages them to shop small all year long, and whereas 73% of consumers who reportedly shopped small at independently owned retailers and restaurants on Small Business Saturday did so with friends or family, and whereas the most reported reason for consumers aware of the day to shop and dine at small independently owned businesses was to support their community, 64%, and whereas Pocatello, Idaho supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities, and whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday, now therefore, I, Brian C. Glad, Mayor of the City of Pocatello, do hereby proclaim November 24th, 2018 as Small Business Saturday in the City of Pocatello, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. That's a long one. Yeah, Phoebe.
I'd like to accept this proclamation on behalf of the Pocatello Chubbuck Chamber of Commerce, Old Town Pocatello, and all the small business people doing business in our community. I was going to share a number of statistics with you, but it sounds like it's already been covered. So what I would really like to do is reinforce the importance of supporting small businesses. Come and shop small on Saturday, November 24th, throughout our community. It's very vital that we have a good holiday season this year. So please shop small. We have a number of events planned for Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and Small Business Saturday in Old Town. You can visit our website at oldtownpocatello.com for more information. And thank you for supporting our small businesses.
Stephanie, aren't there some new businesses downtown that people should be interested in patronizing?
Yes, absolutely. We have had 14 new businesses open in Old Town this past year. A number of them, the Polka Dot Boutique is a wonderful stop. Cottonwood Junction is open now. Taste of Hawaii expanded and now has 2 locations. For all that information, you can visit our website for our business directory. So we had a great year, and we appreciate the support from the City Council.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 5 is the calendar review. Council may wish to take this opportunity to inform other council members of upcoming meetings that should be called to their attention. On December 6th, 9 a.m. will be a City Council goal-setting meeting. On December 6th at 5 p.m. will be a police union update. December 6th at 5:30 p.m. will be a clarification meeting. December 6th at 6 p.m. will be a regular council meeting. December 13th at 9 a.m. will be a work session. Other events, on November 16, which is tomorrow, the U.S. Capitol tree will be at City Hall at 9 a.m. It will be here for 1 hour, and that's it. They will be here from 9 to 10, and they will be gone at 10. So if you'd like to see the National Christmas tree, please come down at 9 o'clock in the morning. Annual leaf collection continues through November 30th. Leaves must be placed in compostable bags, not boxes or plastic bags. Leaves will be picked up on a regular collection day. City Creek Recreation Area gates will close on November 16 to motorized access until approximately May 15, 2019. November 22nd and 23rd, City offices will be closed to observe the Thanksgiving holiday. Garbage and recycle pickups for Thursday and Friday will be one day behind. The Community Recreation Center will close on Thanksgiving, but will open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday, November 23rd. November 23rd, holiday celebration and lights parade in Old Town. November 24th, 28th annual Christmas in the Nighttime Skies at Bannock County Event Center at 5 p.m. On November 28th through December 1st is the Festival of Trees at Stevens Performing Arts Center. We will move to agenda item number 6, revision to final plat, The Crossings. Ken Poppy of Portness Development, LLC, and Idaho Central Credit Union, represented by Chris Adams of Creek Hollow and Associates, have submitted a revised final plat application for The Crossings Division 1. The approved final plat called for subdividing 37.31 acres, more or less, into 97 lots. The revision plat calls for subdividing the same property into 74 lots. The planning and engineering staff recommends approval with conditions. Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the revision to the final plat of The Crossings, and it includes and is subject to all previous and new conditions.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Adamson.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to recuse myself from voting on this item.
Thank you. So a motion by Bray, a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Bray,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Manon,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 7, request for use funds for abatement of a dangerous building located at 426 East Sutter Street. Council may wish to consider the request from Lynn Transtrom, building official, to use abatement of dangerous buildings funds 964 for the demolition of a dangerous building located at 426 East Sutter. This building was totally devastated by fire on April 13, 2018. The building was not insured, and the owner does not have the resources to abate the building.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve agenda item number 7 to use the funds for abatement.
Second.
We have a motion by Manon and a second by Johnston. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Manon,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Bray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 8, HDR Consulting Services Agreement, Science and Environment. Council may wish to approve and authorize the mayor's signature on a consulting services agreement between the City of Pocatello and HDR Engineering Incorporated, subject to legal department review. Funds for execution of the task, $9,675, are available within the Science and Environment Division 2019 fiscal year budget.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move that that we authorize, let me mess that up, that we approve and authorize the mayor's signature on a consulting services agreement between the City of Pocatello and HDR Engineering, subject to legal department review.
Second.
We have a motion by Lurick and a second by Cheatham. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Bray,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Manon,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 9, LTAC Grant Application Agreement, Tendoy Elementary School Pedestrian Safe Route Project. Council may wish to consider the following request regarding a local highway technical assistance council LTAC grant regarding the Children Pedestrian Safety Program for Tendoy Elementary School Safe Route to School Project. A, application for Children Pedestrian Safe Grant in the amount of $250,000, and if awarded, B, authorize the mayor to accept the grant and sign the program agreement for form outlining the program. There is no city match to the grant. Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the LTAC grant application and agreement, that we authorize the mayor to accept the grant and to sign the program agreement that outlines this program.
Second.
Mr. Mayor,
Just 1 second. I really want to give Linda the second because she seconded it, but she was laughing because she did it early. Can she have it?
She can have it.
All right. So we have a motion by Bray and a second by Lurick. It looks like we have some discussion.
Yes.
Councilman Cheatham.
We have a number of members of that neighborhood who are here tonight. I've been contacted by some of those people, and I'd like to hear what they have to say about this application.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Starting with Terry Shumway.
Okay. Terry, would you approach
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Cheatham has a question for you.
I understand there's been some dissent on the application in the neighborhood.
Yes, there has, because there's now that they've blocked off Jefferson, so you can't get up Alameda Road, we have a very, very high volume of traffic on our road, up Linda and Redwood. When you're driving off Linda to Redwood, you can't get out on Jefferson because they put a turning lane on Jefferson left hand, which makes it really bad. And I was under the assumption that wasn't supposed to happen. And city engineers said that most everybody will go to Poplar to get up on the hill up on Monte Vista. They don't. They'll come up Linda. There's all kinds of speeding. Nobody stops at the stop signs. And we just want something done. And that's why we're all here.
I'd like to speak as well.
Pardon?
Okay, do you have another question?
Are there issues besides speeding?
Yes.
Can she
Would you like
talk?
to speak to that? Identify yourself.
My name's Daphne Yoakum. I live on 873 Linda. To my elected honor and mayor and council members, I live on Linda Ave, and last time we came here, our concerns were ignored or not heard. I understand that you had a grant to do something with the intersection, so something had to be done. Not only am I here to tell you you made the wrong decision, but explain why. There are hundreds, literally hundreds of cars that go down my road. I have video proof if you don't believe my statement has merit. There's at least 200 cars a day. I pretty much live on that Yellowstone. I have 5 children. I'm a single mother, and I've been hit almost multiple times. My kids have been hit. My car's been hit, and this is before winter. They don't stop at the stop sign. I've also video recorded that. It's devalued my property. It's put my neighbors, it's put my kids in danger. There's hundreds of children that walk up East Alameda Road, and the cars are not stopping. Instead of doing a petition, I decided to come here and talk to you about not only just the children's safety, but this has made such a big deal that everybody on my road, we can sit outside and literally watch car after car after car after car. We've had emergency vehicles have to go down the wrong side of the road to get up East Alameda. Is that East Alameda, just to get to save somebody's life. That's not making anything any safer. I'm pleading for the children. I'm pleading for our safety. I'm sorry.
Can I interrupt a second? The issue tonight is sidewalks on that property to give school buses a place to unload children and give children a place to walk out of the street.
That doesn't stop a speeding car.
But it'll put the kids out of reach of that car.
But we have more children crossing the street where the stop sign is than we have them walking down the roads. I have hundreds of kids that walk up that street. A sidewalk's not, unless there's a barrier there.
But are you objecting to the sidewalk?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Completely. It does nothing to stop a speeding car. It doesn't stop the 200 cars that go down my road each day. I hear bumping music all night, stuff like that. A lot of us have to park on the road because our driveways aren't big enough for 2 vehicles. So I have to get out on that side of the road. I've been hit, like I said, I have 5 children. I'm a single mother, and we've been hit almost multiple times. My son can't ride in the street anymore. We used to have kids ride in the street. The most we had was 25 cars a day going down our road. Now we have over 200. And if you would like to see video proof, I did bring it with me. And like I said, emergency vehicles alone are having to go down the wrong side of the street just to get up that road to save somebody's life. They can't go down an extra 2 minutes because that person could be dead. And that's happened multiple times as well. it's not a fix, and we haven't even hit winter yet. You know, putting sidewalks is not a fix. It's just taking away one portion of a big, larger picture. And like I said, I feel like I live on Yellowstone now. I moved in this place for a residential street because I had so many children. And now it's to the point where I'm scared to have my son go out front. So.
Do you have another question for her? Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions for anybody else?
I'd like to speak.
Truly, that's with other people.
If you have a question, then we can.
I just have some information about sidewalks versus no.
Could I ask staff a question?
Sure.
Can we get engineer up here and talk about traffic?
Mayor, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, Merrill.
Okay, we got Art, not Mayor.
Mayor and Council, I would like to discuss a little bit about some.
Art, if you would identify yourself for people in the audience that don't know you and people watching at home.
Art DeRosa, Senior Engineer in the Engineering Department.
Thank you. Councilman Cheatham, you had a question?
Yes. Talk about traffic on that street and other streets, similar streets.
Maybe I'll go back a little bit on the history on what has been done and what I've done also. What you heard is correct, that because of another project, we have additional traffic that we have seen. So what I have done is I did a traffic count for a period of 1 week to see, in fact, how much traffic we do have and how bad is the speeding issue. I would like to start with the speeding issue. It counted every single vehicles in that area on Linda, in the middle of Linda. I have to admit that from that 1 week survey, it did not show that speeding was an issue. There was only an average one vehicle that goes about 30 miles an hour, which is speeding in this case. Speed limit is 25. As far as the number of vehicles going on Linda, which is the same thing as Redwood, the highest count per day was 900. It may sound high, but realizing the conditions and the width of the road, it is my opinion that 900 vehicles per day, those roads can easily handle.
What's the purpose of the sidewalks then, Art? We're talking about traffic, but that isn't the grant in front of us.
Yeah, the grant is sidewalks.
Yes. I've visited that location a number of times, several times in the morning as well, to observe the situations, and I've seen it. What I saw was that there were indeed a lot of the students, young children, walking to school. Bear in mind that that is the back way to Tendoy Elementary School. In addition to that, what I also saw was that area, it is used as a school bus routes, multiple school bus routes. Some of them, they are apparently from high schools, because what I saw also was that there are students parking on Linda and Redwood, and they walk to the bus stop, to the school bus, and then board from there. I also saw that they were walking in the middle of the street rather than sidewalks, partly because there is no sidewalk. Could they have walked in other areas? Perhaps they could, but nonetheless, the issue of not having sidewalks, it is what I saw very clearly. And after observing, my recommendation is to have a separation between the pedestrians and the vehicles. And that is the purpose of a sidewalk.
Yes, Councilor.
Could you comment on the traffic counts that neighborhood is currently experiencing compared to other residential neighborhoods? We know that there has been an increase from what they saw in the past, but is that normal compared to other residential neighborhoods in town, or is that an abnormal amount of traffic to be in a residential area?
Councilmember Adamson, I love that question. If I could expand it a little bit, perhaps even give a fuller picture if I could. From the engineering point of view, we look at traffic counts not on a number of issues. Speed is one of them. Total amount of traffic is the other one. Width of the road is another issue. For example, a very wide road like a freeway could handle more traffic. So there's a number of issues that regulate that. And then we put all this data together, we come up with a way to analyze to see if it is good or bad or adequate or inadequate. We usually call that a level of service. To begin with, after observing, the level of service on Linda and Redwood is A. In other words, let me back up a little bit. A is doing well, F is failing, and there is grade in between. From the national standard, we are typically shoot for either level C or D. In a state like California, where there's a lot of traffic, then they shoot for a level of service D. Typically in Idaho, in which we don't have the situations like in California, a level of service C would be fine. In other words, what I'm saying, from the level of service alone, both Linda and Redwood, it is showing they are quite satisfactory. Typically, if it is a traffic over 1,000, we may bump it from the data to a level of service of B. Comparing to the rest of the city, there are local roads and there's also collector roads. Yellowstone, for example, is called an arterial. We go to another road like Highline, and there's a collector road. And whereas for a road like Redwood and Linda, they are considered to be a local road. Even in the local road standard, from the traffic engineering point of view, it is quite acceptable from the amount of traffic that's available that is traversing now. How much should it have? It is really hard to say. Going into a subdivision, the main road that goes through it would have more, and then roads that are supporting it would have less. In the neighborhood just adjacent to it, like in front of the park, about a block away, I experienced what I see. Traffic is indeed less than Linda. What I remember is about 4,500 per day. So indeed, it is true that on both Linda and Redwood, the traffic is higher than the adjacent roads. 900, yes.
So the traffic
Actually, thank you, but no, you can't. This is us here, and then we'll ask the questions, and unfortunately.
Can you ask me a question?
No. This is the discussion for the council to do what the council does, and we're gaining the information now. So we're not going to have a discussion between whoever is talking there and the audience. It's not going to work that way. Not here tonight. So
I still think this issue. We're talking about sidewalks. We're not talking about traffic counts. We're not talking about cars. We're not talking about speeding. We're talking about whether the community wants to make children safer with sidewalks. Is there anybody there in the audience in that community that doesn't want to do that?
Yes.
It's not enough of the children. It's the 1/3 you're saving. The other 2/3 are not being protected.
do we have any other questions for Art?
I don't.
Thank you, Art.
Thanks, Art.
Thank you.
Okay, council, any other questions for anybody in the audience?
Can you table this and give the community a chance to talk to you? That's not fair. There's some real serious
Council,
concerns
any other
about
questions,
taking up
council?
property to make the sidewalks.
Thank you very much, then.
I got a question.
Okay. Art, come back.
I need to be nice.
So Art, in the documentation we have here, it says that the city owns 50 feet of right-of-way.
Yes, sir.
And it wants to claim 10 more feet of that right-of-way because it's only exercised its right on 40 feet so far. Is that right?
That is correct. The city does own 50 feet. Of that, 40 right now is the road. And on the edge of the curb and gutter, we have additional 5 feet that belongs to the city.
And so this is the city finally recognizing what we do in other places. Usually we have sidewalk installed as part of the development now. And this is something that's been postponed. One other question. This is a grant to do that. In a lot of cases, we can require people to put in sidewalk, can't we?
It is true. Both installation and maintenance, and oftentimes could be, the city could enforce it on the citizens.
Okay, so, and this could be considered a response to all we've heard from this neighborhood in terms of this extra load, couldn't it?
I'm sorry.
This is a response to what we've heard as the extra load, our looking into the streets and the traffic patterns and children's pedestrian patterns. This is a limited response. It's not a full response, but this could be considered a response to that concern.
Indeed, that is the case. I've heard a lot of the issue that has been raised, and I believe that is a proper response from the city.
Okay. Mayor, I'd let this lady talk.
Okay. Come on up and ask her a question.
Okay. So
Hi, my name is Lori Engelhardt.
Okay, I heard you mention that you thought this was not a warranted project.
I don't think it's a warranted project, and the reason is because I was involved in the city of Boise when we were talking about similar issues in the neighborhood where I was a member on the board of the neighborhood association, and I was asked to go to a conference that was a national conference put on by neighborhood safety officials throughout the United States, and they talked specifically about traffic calming devices, and they said that sidewalks were absolutely not considered the best possibility because it gave a sense that the cars could go faster, and it gave drivers the sense that children wouldn't be in the way. And I have a list of 12 other possible alternative ways to slow traffic down that I pulled off the internet, and I saw numerous examples of this at that conference. And I know that we in our neighborhood started doing those kinds of things to slow down traffic, which involved small grants that we got from our neighborhood association grants, where we put in art projects on the street, and we put in doggy bags, and we put in all kinds of things to help people that were walking. And I have also pictures of examples of kinds of things that you can do on a neighborhood to slow traffic, and it has to narrow the street. It has to make little curves. It has to make people slow down because they see things. And it's not about putting sidewalks. Cars actually go faster on streets where you put sidewalks in, and that's what the national statistics say.
But right now, the observation is that kids are walking in the middle of the street.
That's right, and they're going to in that neighborhood. You're not going to control little children.
Sidewalks will not make a difference?
No, it won't. The children in our neighborhood, it won't make a difference. Right now, there's not even a dead-end sign on a dead-end street. All the signs that even are there are so high that when you turn the corner, you don't see them, and they're this big. And the only sign that's big enough to even tell people that it's dangerous on my street is my sign that I put in my neighborhood, in my garden. There's a lot of things that could be done to slow that down. We went and looked even some more on the internet, and you could put in, they say that one of the best ways to slow traffic is to put in one of those electronic signs that shows people what their speed is. And the other best thing to do is to put in something that they use, Federal Highway Administration has approved the use of rumble strips, and those are removable, and you can put them in at the beginning of the street coming up Redwood, and it would make people go, oh, there's kids up ahead. And you could do the same thing on places on Linder. And it's just inexcusable for us to have to consider taking that neighborhood and changing the whole flavor of it by taking back 5 feet on each of those houses on that street.
We're not taking, we're claiming.
Oh yeah, I know, but that's a neighborhood with a history. That's a neighborhood with a history of being more rural, being more friendly, being just like the neighborhoods up on the hill in Boise. It's one of those neighborhoods where people purposefully buy there because they want it to be safe and to be able to walk like that and to be able to enjoy. There's lots of open space in that neighborhood where people climb hills. They come down from the up above condos. It's not a neighborhood where you're going to control people by putting sidewalks and telling them to walk. The majority of children in that neighborhood where we moved in are children from families where there's not parents around at home. There's nobody going to tell them to stay on the sidewalk. They run barefoot. They ride bicycles. When we had an accident on Jefferson Street this year and it stopped right at Redwood, we had 50 cars shoot up the hill up Redwood and try to turn into the corner there that's a dead end, and there was no place for them to turn. And it was right when the children were riding their bicycles. I saw 5 kids this far from the front of vehicles, and I had to stand out there, and I called the police and asked them to come help, and they wouldn't. You guys have to think about it differently from the way you're talking about it. And this gentleman, while I respect all his research and studies, he came to my house and he told me we didn't know what traffic was because we hadn't lived in California. And I'm sorry, but that's just not okay. I don't appreciate his attitude, and I don't appreciate that he just wants to get a federal grant that's going to force us all to do something we don't want to do. And I think we need to consider this much more deeply and do some investigation into some alternatives. And I would be happy to participate in that further.
I'm not going to ask any more questions. I'm just going to make a comment. Several years ago, we accepted several of these grants. And the neighborhoods that received these grants were very thankful for what we did in terms of making school safety a priority for that area. Now, it doesn't solve all the other problems, but at least we heard from those neighborhoods that it was a step in the right direction. And so I just want to make that comment.
I appreciate that, and I think you need more of us on the committee before you make a final decision.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions, council? Okay, then we have a motion by Bray and a second by Lurick. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes. We'll move to agenda item number 10 is LTAC grant application agreement bridge projects. Council may wish to consider the following request regarding the Local Highway Technical Assistance Council LTAC grant, which administers the local strategic initiative program for bridges. Three projects being considered are rehabilitation of Carson Street Bridge, expansion joints, replacement of various bridge and safety improvements at the intersection of Trail Creek and Riverside Drive. A, application for local strategic initiative program grant in the amount of $1 million, and if awarded, B, authorize the mayor to accept the grant and sign the program agreement from outlining the program. There are no city matches for the grant.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the LTAC grant application and authorize whatever is necessary to proceed with these programs.
Second.
We have a motion by President Johnston and a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Johnston.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 11, professional services agreement with TELUS Financial Consulting Incorporated. Council may wish to authorize the execution of a professional services agreement with TELUS Financial Consultants Incorporated for the preparation of a current rate study for an amount not to exceed $102,622. The services provided will be a 5-year rate study to revise and update the previous study, and will include rates for water pollution control, and sanitation services. Cost for the study will be equally shared among the 3 utility departments. Councilman Bray?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve this professional service agreement for the purposes of a rate study.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Cheatham. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. I was doing too many things at once, so I can't multitask. Agenda item 12, ITD Division of Aeronautics Resolution Grant Agreement Airport. Council may wish to approve and authorize the mayor to sign a resolution grant agreement and any other pertinent document related to the acceptance of a grant offered from the Idaho Transportation Department, ITD, Division of Aeronautics. The grant is for $15,000 to reimburse expenses incurred against fiscal year 2018 airport improvement projects, consisting of the following: A, purchase of a snow blower plow; B, taxi lane rehab; C, replacement of the ARF alarm system; and D, wildlife hazard assessment and creation of a new wildlife hazard management plan. The grant requires the city's expenditure of $62,625, which will be funded using budgeted airport passenger facility charges. Funds are already allocated to the project.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
I'd like to
Councilman.
move approval of agenda item number 12, the ITD Division of Aeronautics Resolution and Grant Agreement for the airport, and authorize the mayor to sign the resolution and grant agreement and any other pertinent documents related to the grant offer.
Second.
We have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Manon. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 13, Idaho Power Utility Easement Airport. Council may wish to approve and authorize the mayor to sign, subject to engineering and legal department review, an Idaho Power Utility Easement at the Pocatello Regional Airport for power to a new hangar.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the Idaho Power Utility easement at the airport.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Johnston. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 14, piggyback bids lease agreement for backhoe purchase water. Council may wish to consider the following request regarding a piggyback bid from Western States Equipment Company for direct model replacement of 2 backhoes. A, accept the piggyback bid on a City of Pocatello bid from 2014 to lease 2 2019 450E backhoes from Western States Equipment Company, and if accepted, B, approve a 5-year lease with options to purchase agreement subject to legal department review with 5 annual payments of $13,656.12 for each backhoe unit. Water Department fiscal year 2019 budget includes $32,000 for annual payments toward these particular units.
Mr. Mayor, I move we authorize the piggyback bids and approve them, and acceptance of A and B with your signature and legal department's approval.
Second.
We have a motion by President Johnston and a second by Cheatham. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Johnston.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 15, discussion items. At this time has been set aside to hear discussion items not listed on the agenda. Items which appear somewhere else on the agenda will not be discussed at this time. The council is not allowed to take any official action at this meeting on matters brought forward under this agenda item. Items will either be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled on a subsequent agenda. You must sign in at the start of the meeting in order to be recognized. As a reminder, you have a total of 3 minutes per speaker and 15 total minutes for this agenda item. We will go ahead and get started. So we have 4 people that have signed up from Pocatello Asphalt Racers. I'm going to have one of you speak. And then we will go to the other people. I'm assuming you'll speak for all.
Yes.
Thank you. If you'll state your name and...
My name is Rick Hatch.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm here tonight representing a group of ambitious individuals who are interested in restoring and operating our local racetrack. We consist of sponsors, owners, builders, parents, drivers, with a history of supporting the Pocatello racetrack for well over 3 decades. A majority of us have came from multi-generation race families that currently support several race cars and go-karts. We have frequented and have competed at all of the local racetracks in Idaho and Utah and have a wealth of knowledge on how a racing facility needs to be maintained and operated. We intend on forming a local association of racers that will organize and maintain a fair, safe, and competitive family environment for everyone to enjoy. The current promoters resumed the existing lease late in the 2017 racing season. Since then, the racing environment and driving experience has deteriorated to an unacceptable level. There has been a blatant disregard to minimal safety issues and a total lack of concern or cooperation with the local race community. We're hoping that the city of Pocatello may consider us when renewing the lease that expires in May of 2019. In addition to purchasing the lease, we are asking the city to reconsider the termination date of the current lease to a date that would accommodate a possibility for the new leaser to plan for and accommodate a full racing season for the summer of 2019. We're hoping that the City Council has had the opportunity to review the previously provided details. We are asking the Council to include our concerns on the next possible meeting agenda. We would like to thank the City of Pocatello for the time to listen to our concerns and considering our requests.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ken Poppy? No? Andy Moldenhauer? It's the first time I've seen Ken not want to speak. That's incredible.
He only had 3 minutes.
That's what it was.
Only had 3 minutes.
That's
You
right.
don't need 3 hours.
So,
Mayor and Council, Andy Moldenhauer, Pocatello Firefighters Local 187. I just wanted to get up here because last meeting I came before you and I talked about our Operation Warm event that was coming up. I wanted to thank Councilwoman Lurick for coming over and helping us with our kickoff on that. I think it's still ongoing, but at this point we've given away around 300 codes. Additionally, I also wanted to speak about Councilwoman Adamson. She went with us to Fire Ops 101 in Boise earlier this year, and it took a long time to get the video back from that, but it came in recently, and so I don't know if she shared with you guys or if you have any questions or you'd like me to participate in the sharing of that, but she's got that back now, and so hopefully she can share that. Then lastly, the local food bank has come up a little bit short in their efforts to raise food this year for the holidays. The mayor has requested that we help as a local, but I also wanted just to mention that to everybody here that they are short turkeys right now, and the food bank could use donations, and they're hoping to disperse those on Saturday.
That it?
Yeah, that's it.
So before you leave, number one, I want to thank you for the union. Thank the union, both fire union and the police union both. I made a request to them. They've both stepped up and they've done an incredible job providing some turkeys for the food bank so people will have an opportunity to have Thanksgiving dinner with their family and stuff. So thank you, and please extend a thank you to your membership. It's great to have a group of people so willing to jump on board and do what needs to happen when we see a need. So thank you for that. Please extend that. And I know I've got an officer back there. If you do the same thing with the police union, it's great to be able to have a resource like that. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us tonight. With that, I would like to thank the council. They've spent a lot of work today. We started early afternoon, and we haven't been out of our seats since then, so thank you very much. I appreciate you and what you've done, and with that, we are adjourned.